All rise for their Stellar Majesties, Mary and Lars, Queen and King of Northshield.
Please take your comfort.
Here begins the court of Northshield, presided over by their Stellar Majesties, Mary and Lars, Queen and King of Northshield. This September 9th, Anno Societatis 58, in the Shire of Silford Mare.
One last time, here's what you missed.
Well, we do like to know.
Okay.
We would like to acknowledge that these are the ancestral lands of the Oshasakoween and Wahpeton and native peoples. And, as mentioned, the last time we get to do this one, here's what you missed at the War of the Roses, also known as Gimli. Everyone, did you know that there are a whole bunch of people in Canada? We only ever see 10 at a time, so we wrongly assume that there aren't that many up there. There are so many cool people up there, though, who put the North in Northshield, and that is what you really missed. But at this point, we're pretty used to a recap. So here it is. Our prince, who was a prince of a man, one might say nearly kingly, had a final few trials before he proved to the universe he is ready to ascend to the Griffin throne. Have you ever wondered why ability to cross the international border is on the crown requirements? Winning the tournament is just step one. A successful border crossing is the final test. Good news, he made it. Bad news, well, you can ask him about that. After a harrowing crossing, the poor prince had his blanket stolen while he was sleeping under it. But it worked out, and he got his blanket back, but only after an impassioned plea from the throne, thinking it was his favorite blanket. Meanwhile, we all enjoyed a quite warm, didn't really need a blanket weekend. It was a 3-court event. Don't look at us like that. One was super cool torchlit court in the dark where skulls of enemies were presented. Right? You definitely missed up. Then the Baron and Baroness had a strong disagreement over if fabric scissors could be used on paper because everyone could take sides for the remainder of the event. At our royal court in the daylight, we gave David his award for being old, Hilf and his Sigus for their work in the barony and with the new people. There are a lot of them out there. And speaking of the new people, Rodri, Sean, Tyrrell, Brenna, and Thora are all doing awesome things up there and are now lords or ladies. We have 2 new black griffins, Minion and Yeti, and both now wear a black cape of remarkable size that will flutter in the breeze so nicely. Third court was also baronial, where they all made up about the scissors thing. I think they just like corn. But glad there is peace to the north again, even if there is one clear answer to the scissors question. There was an off-site party at 11 p.m. We all attended in guard, but it was absolutely off-site. There were a lot of archers who were trying to shoot the moon, and because it was 11 p.m., it was dark, so there was a touch of fire. I took a short paddle, and everyone got sand in their shoes and had a fabulous time shooting the super blue moon, and then we all walked back to the event. So if you go to Gimli, don't miss the 11 p.m. offsite. Last but not least, there was archery of every flavor. Some people shot at peacocks, some lions, some jugs of water dangling on strings, some people shot the string accidentally, and some shot for science. Everyone had fun either shooting or watching or betting on science, and it was a relaxing yet full 3-day event. And that's what you missed at Gimli, War of the Roses.
They're the ones who like court, right there.
This is to spread out.
We have an elevation. Are there peers here? Okay.
Their Majesties call forth Master Peter Grau von Bremen and Maestro Niccolo Falconetto, companions of the Order of Defense.
Lovely to see you back again. You can't quit Northshield.
No, not at all. Thank you, Your Majesty. We wish to
Take it. If it is the right and proper thing and within our power, it shall be yours.
We would ask that Mr. Samar be elevated to the Order of Defense.
Masters and mistresses of defense, present yourselves before their majesties.
We have extras, we have imports. Welcome to North Shield. And now, even after she's elevated, feel free to visit anytime.
Their majesties summon Mistress Mara before them.
We'll get bigger sites if you come every day. You'll use this for personal use. Mara, before this day, you were provost of Peter.
He provided counsel and comfort
He provided counsel and comfort
as you learn to be a person worthy of
as you learn to be a person worthy of this marriage.
As a peer, you are your equal,
As a peer, you are now his equal,
and owe your service unto the crown.
and owe your service only to the crown.
So proud of you. Is there a companion of the Order of Chivalry to attest to Mara's honor?
Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Lords and Ladies, I bear a missive from Count Sept of the Mid-Realm. Mara, I am so proud of you. In my heart of hearts, I knew that you would one day be recognized as a mistress of defense, and that day is now. Mara is most worthy of this accolade. As a member of the chivalry, I hold the virtues very dear to my heart. Mara personifies many of these virtues, but I would like to focus on largesse. Largesse is also referred to as generosity. Mara has given on a magnitude that very few do, literally blood, sweat, and tears. To her fighting households, to her kingdom, and to the society as a whole. I have stood beside this avatar of largesse on the battlefield, and we dispense the gift of a hard and safe fight to whomever our opponents might be. The Order of Defense is near and dear to my heart. I was knighted during the same court that the first Masters of Defense were being recognized in the Mid-Realm. I will forever have an affinity and appreciation for that order. A wise person once told me to be a good example and not a bad one. Mara is a great example of what it means to be a martial rapier peer. Sincerely, Count Seto, Golden Dragon of the Mid-Realm.
Is there a companion of the Order of the Laurel to speak?
There is, Your Majesty. I have known Mara for a very long time. And when she was little, we all looked at her and said, she's going to be a fighter. And clearly, she is a fighter. What we didn't bother to say, because of who she was surrounded with since a child, is that she would be doing arts. And this is a woman who gets appointed general, and that means it's time to make all new guard with all new heraldry that's period for herself and for the kingdom that she's in. And she's done that twice with two different kingdoms. So she has the full Norse regalia for two kingdoms because that's what you do, right? That's part of being general for everyone, right? It's just part of who she is. to be making the things that make her kit spot on for her time period. And it's not noticed on the rapier field because who does Norse on a rapier field? But Mara does, and she does the research and she does the things. And she makes beautiful things and wears them as just clothes, because that's what they are. She excels at arts and will be an excellent second peerage for this kingdom. She is my peer, Your Majesties.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican to attest to Mara's service?
Your Majesties, I am Baron Hamish de Nesbitt, 6th Baron of Windhaven, and Companion of the Order of the Pelican. Like traditions, Pelicans speak at an elevation to a vigilant service. Mara, being a Pelican, has well-proven record of service to whatever kingdom she may reside, as well as to society in general, and even indeed to my very own. And she lives half a state away. I would speak on service in another area, and that is that she challenges people. Challenges people to be better. She challenges the society to change, to thrive, myself included. Personally, she has challenged me on my journey in rapier, getting my second authorization 20 years after my first. She has challenged me to encourage the activity for being there for the members of my populace who are pursuing it, even though it is not my main activity. She has challenged me to learn the correct pronunciation of people's names. And to thank them for correcting me. She has challenged me that even though I'm older and slower and having a myriad of health issues, that even these days I remind others that I'm not easily defeated. I'm not alone on this journey, or friendship, or challenges with Mara. I have a quite considerable ego. And when I admit that somebody is my equal, it's high praise. Mara is not my equal, she is my better. I have no better words to commend her to you, and as such, I thank you.
Is there a royal peer to attest to her nobility?
Yes, Your Majesty. I, as Miss Marius Tacitus, speak on the inspiration that is Mara. The last few years have been not exactly normal, so Spotty's Best, our neighbors to the south, decided to hold their event, which is typically in February, called Hertz Creek, the Hearts War, to be held in April. And Mara made the arduous trip to our side of the kingdom. And the entire time she is there participating in this rapier tournament, fighting for a newer individual that's maybe been in for 2-3 years, asked them if they could fight their champion. And the entire time, there was nothing but a smile on her face. There was giggling on the rapier field. There was nothing but happiness, and that is an inspiration. But beyond what she does on the field, not just as a general, because she's done this for multiple kingdoms and multiple reigns, just in North Shield, she inspires all of us off the field by being true to who we are. And that is so much of an inspiration that she exemplifies and embodies luminari, one of the 3 most sacred words that is North Shield. I am proud to call you Blade Dancer Sister, as well as my peer.
Is there a member of the populace to attest to Mara's qualities as a peer?
Yes, there is, Your Majesty. Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, and honorable members of the Order of Defense and the rest of the populace, my name is Mademoiselle Sibylla de l'Orange, and I am here to speak on the virtues of Mara. Mara, I haven't known Mara for as long as some people have, but in my short time, my relatively short time of knowing her, she has been a constant inspiration and source of fun and joy on the field. Mara travels all over the kingdom to fight and teach. She makes time when she's on business trips to come and visit us and fight in alleyways in Milwaukee. There's different kind of gang in Milwaukee now. Because of her joy and willingness to teach and fight and just generally joke around on the field, which we do on a regular basis. Mara is also, you stole my word. She's an inspiration to us all, and I would heartily recommend her to you. I was going to say all of these words last year. Things ensued, but everything I wrote down then is just the same. Mara is a force to be reckoned with on the field. She is an inspiration, and her wisdom on the battlefield is unparalleled. And I heartily recommend her to you.
Thanks. Noble Order, is it your opinion that we should grant membership?
Yeah!
Mara?
Right mindful to your service to society and the wishes of your peers. We are resolved to create you a companion of the Order of Defense. Know that to be a peer is to hold a sacred trust, that the obligations will demand your efforts every moment of your life.
A mistress of defense must seek excellence in all endeavors, displaying courage and service to the kingdom, not for their own renown, but for the good of all.
A mistress must always seek justice, truth tempered with mercy.
A mistress must remain loyal to the people and the ideals they choose to live by.
A mistress must always defend their kingdom, their family, and those who depend upon them.
A mistress must have courage to sacrifice steps and people to God.
A mistress must have faith in their beliefs while never diminishing the beliefs of another.
A mistress values the contributions of others, according them the renown due them for their behavior.
A mistress must be generous as far as the resources allow.
A mistress recognizes that true nobility arises from the journey, not the destination.
Seek to emulate all of this as sincerely as possible, not for personal gain, but as it is right. Do not restrict your exploration to a small world, but seek to infuse every aspect of your life with these qualities. Should you succeed in even a tiny measure, then you will be well remembered for your quality and virtue. Knowing all this, do you desire to accept the invitation into this order?
I do.
We pledge to continue to uphold the honor of this order.
I will. Will you increase your labors and talents nobly as befits one of your rank, and seek to extend your talents and abilities throughout the society?
I do.
Will you teach and assist any dependents you may have to serve as your servant?
I will. Then let all hear our will in full.
Their Royal Majesties, Lars III and Mary III, command you to hear these words about their subject, Mara Eiriksdottir. She is a shield maiden of the Griffin and a general on the line. And with her grace and strength and courage, she's mastered her craft over time. And her reach is beyond her measure as she defends all those around. For she's a master of defense, and her leadership abounds. She's crossed the kingdom borders from the mid to northern shield. No matter what the challenge, she will never give nor yield. Her voice commands all people, as a force of nature should, and her sword is swift and skillful to back up all her words. She seeks not selfish glory nor quest for her own fame, yet the stories told around the fire will often speak her name. For the might of the Griffin is not just its claws and its beak, but the stubborn scales of defense of a master just like she. Scroll by Anna Jorkinen.
Do you wish to pledge service at this time?
I do.
Thank you.
I here pledge service and do homage to the crown of Norship, to ever serve the kingdom by my word and sword, defender of the weak, servant of the kingdom, proven in battle, tempered by mercy, generous with my knowledge and ability, an example of courtesy, skill, and grace, regarding the people of North Shield with integrity and charity. Here, by my honor and my sword, swear I, Mara Iriksdottir.
We accept your gifts of service and leadership, and will rely on you to advise us wisely. As you light the way of Coronation with honor and charity, we will act towards you respectively in all things, protecting you with our aid and rewarding you with our love. May all strength fail and the world turn against any who break this solemn oath.
Mara's sword.
The sword once belonged to you alone, in pursuit of personal glory, but now defends your crown, your kingdom and all of its people. We will return it to you, sheathed in the hanger of your order.
Is there a coat? Your actions have reflected your fame or infamy.
From this point on,
From this point on,
you wear the same cloak as your companions of the order,
you wear the same cloak as the companions of your order,
and your actions will reflect upon them.
and your actions, good or ill, will reflect upon them. Is there a cloak?
Won't be for long.
Is there a collar?
There is. This collar was worn by all of your predecessors and will now be worn by you. Wear it proudly, just as Ambrose von Faust, Niccolo Falconetto, Piero Salvel Bertrode, Cavelic McKinley, Edward of Kent, Tomas Adorno Sardino de Triana, Marguerite Medicus, Michael St. Christian, Guillaume Ethos Isaac Lafort, Sybil Sevenoak, Cesar Lopez de la Coruna, Robert Talbot, Simon Morcar, Leona Talbot, Baldwin von Trier, Morgan O'Malley, Jean Robert Le Marchand de la Salle, and Joseph Leps wore before you.
Throughout history, great and noble orders have been signified by the colors they wear, so that their members may have perpetual memory of the vows that they take and be recognized as members of their order, and be seen to represent the ideal that they aspire to. The Masters of Defense display their symbol on a white collar, which symbolizes purity of spirit, and which we share our talents to all who seek guidance.
Your Majesty, there is another.
Okay?
See from our hand the collar of the Order of Defense. 3 crossed blades to show your defense of your crown, kingdom, and your order. Worn from this white collar to keep it perpetually close to your heart as a reminder, so that you never contravene the oath to which you just made. Wear it proudly, that all may recognize your service as we have acknowledged it this day. Very fancy order.
In remembrance of humble beginnings. Oh, is there a cat? Sorry.
Cooties.
Are there words with the hat?
The cap represents the relationship between the crown and their peers. Just as the cap supports the crown and makes it easier to bear, so the peer supports the kingdom and eases the burdens of their rulers.
In remembrance of humble beginnings,
To remember the fourth of the oath you took,
to remember the force of the oath that you took,
and the last challenge unmet.
and the last challenge unmet. Rise, Mrs. Mara, Mistress of the Order of Defense.
Vivat!
So many swords. Everybody, please look at this. Newest order is the coolest thing.
Their Majesties call forth into court Eckert de Rood.
Where's our Sherpa Supreme? There he is. This man has joined us through serendipity. We asked his lady to be our head retainer, and he has been supportive of us in so many ways that they are innumerable. And quietly and behind the scenes, and I know it is in support of your lady who is supporting us, but as this is an inspiration, she is your inspiration, but you are an example to all of how to support somebody you love in a job for them. So,
Because he helps beyond expectations, aids in moving all the things, no matter the distance or weight, and find what people need before they even realize they need it. We, Mary and Lars, award Eckert de Rood with a King and Queen's cipher. Cut by Eyston Meister.
no, you won't forget us. So, if you wouldn't mind standing to the side.
For Eckert, Vivat. Their Majesties call forth Juliet Sophia da Verona.
This is the aforementioned wife. Sorry to have stolen your escort. He's here to help you out. But Juliet, you are not long in the society, except you're also not new. You knew exactly how to step up and do everything that was needed. And if you didn't know, you asked questions. And the ability to ask insightful questions is a very important thing. So I appreciate that you really did put everything into your job. And you worked with so many people in the kingdom, and we heard nothing but compliments. So we have a thank you.
Gather round, all gentles, for a listing of strengths of our head retainer who has gone to great lengths to manage ourselves, our attendants, and more. She has handled it all with the grace we adore. Smiling all the while, through her duties were great, she kept us well retained as though her skills were innate. She helped others to service and helped fan the flames of latent talent for retaining in many of our things. When her knowledge hit a wall, she never feared to ask for help or for insight, whichever needs filled her task. For her prowess in questions and her skills to retain, from us, Lars and Mary, third sovereigns of our name, upon Juliet Sophia da Verona, our wonderful subject, who steadfastly served and treated all with respect, we wish to bestow an award of the sort that commands quite a presence, a baroness of the court. We would like to announce Baroness Wu, who is not here. Do we have a scroll? We have a scroll. A king and queen's cipher for her.
So she also coordinated and ran our reign with us because it's a team effort. And in reflecting on it, she and I have very different skill sets, which ended up being a very positive thing because she would think of things we never would. And she took care of them, and I could specialize in what I specialized in. So I think all around she was a great support, and we're happy to have a cipher for her, even though she's not here. So give her grief that she missed her own coronation.
Their Majesties call Tomas Ordonez Sandino di Triana.
We had a pair of peer advisors, Tom and Tomas, so it was never confusing at all. That's who we were talking to. But Tomas did, working with us was not just your first thing you've ever done, correct? You've done many, many acts of service beyond what is, you can stand this there. There you go. More than what your collar demands of you. And there is a service to the greater society that you have definitely provided, and it was noted by many. So we are pleased to be able to award this, but it is from the voices of many, many people.
Wisdom echoes in Northshield's halls when it is said that service is the duty of all, so that burdens may be light and shared equally throughout the day. Such words and actions emanate abundantly from one ever honorable Tomas Ordonez Sandino di Triana. And so, if it greatly pleases their most stellar and regal majesties, sovereigns of the mighty griffin realm of Northshield, Lars and Mary, third of their noble names, to rightly honor him and grant him the august company of his fellows who enrich the society with lessons and acts of loving service, with entrance into the order of the hand of Tyr. Order of Tyr, please rise in place.
And any equivalent order? Okay, please look around. You're in very good company. Thank you for your service to the kingdom.
For Tomas, viva! Their Majesties call forth the Honorable Lady Constanza di Sevilla.
Stanza. For our reign and for many before ours, and I'm sure you're not stopping anytime soon, you have specialized in sewing. And so this is not an official, we're giving you a cipher. But I was trying to style it as Seamstress to the Crown, which is not an award, but it is a specific reason. So we have you and a few others who we would like to make sure they're noted and notable as Seamstress to the Crown, because the service you gave is beautiful and necessary, and everyone always feels like someone else is doing it, and that someone else is quite often you. So we appreciate all your efforts and your time and your talents.
Declare to all that we, Lars and Mary III of Northshield, award our joint cipher to the Honorable Lady Constanza di Sevilla for her efforts on our behalf. So henceforth may she be styled as a seamstress to the crown. For Constanza, viva! Viva! Their Majesties call forth Baroness Kaelin Ingen Adam.
We're wearing a cowl today. Both players even. Mistress Cowan, again, you were Minister of our Wardrobe. I know that you're not even the first ring you've done this for. It's been a service that, though we are your billboards, not everyone stops and says, oh, I'm wearing Cowan. So we wanted to make sure that in our report you are recognized as a seamstress to the crown with our cipher.
Declare to all that we, Lars and Mary, 3rd of Northshield, award our joint cipher to Baroness Kaelin Ingen Adane for her efforts on our behalf. Henceforth, may she style herself as a seamstress to the crown. For Kaelin, viva! Their Majesties summon forth Mistress Tatiana Marana Melville.
Mistress Tatiana has also been a giant help in the sewing and mostly the printing. I know we mentioned it before. And we're wearing some Tatiana's underneath. But it's been a joy to work with you, and we have a small scroll.
Declare to all that we, Lars and Mary, the 3rd of Northshield, award our joint cipher to Mistress Tatiana Marana Melville for her efforts on our behalf. Henceforth, may she be styled as a seamstress to the crown.
Your Majesty.
Yes.
Your Majesty. If I may, I beg a boon.
Because the right thing within our power shall be yours.
I ask that you elevate Mistress Tatiana Marana Melville into the Noble Order of the Laurel.
Their Majesties summon forward the companions of the Order of the Laurel.
Noble Order, is it your opinion that Tatiana is worthy of elevation into the Order of the Laurel?
Aye!
Countess Thora, you carry words from Viscountess Therica as Tatiana's formal laurel and sponsor.
I do. Your Majesties, I am Jarla Thora, and it is my honor to speak on behalf of Mistress Tatiana's laurel. Unto your Royal Majesties, Lars and Mary, and all the good gentles of Northshield, do I, Viscountess Therica Pembroke of Stonegate Manor, companion of the Order of the Laurel, companion of the Order of the Pelican, and Baroness of Court, give you greetings on this fine autumn day. There are many fine gentles in our fair lands, gentles of great talent and amazing abilities. It is always a pleasure when one is recognized for their efforts to enhance our kingdom through their time, effort, skills, and generosity of spirit. I have known Mistress Tatiana Marana Melville for nearly 30 years. My, how time flies. When I was first in the SCA, I was enchanted and dove right in. When I met Tatiana, I found a kindred spirit, someone who was also enchanted with the SCA and, like me, wanted to make the SCA a better and even more enchanting place for all of us. And boy, did she dive right in. Throughout the years, Mistress Tatiana has shared her talents and efforts to enhance our medieval community. She's taught extensively, not only in our kingdom, but also across vast regions of the known world. Her research is amazing, and she loves to share what she has learned with any who show the least bit of interest. If you want to dive into a rabbit hole of exploration and research, talk to Tatiana. She will not only share what she has learned, she will pull you in with her. And she will pull you down many twisting paths of research to explore new arts. She has shared her knowledge whenever asked, often filling in classes when the original teachers are unable to attend an event. She loves to figure out how things were done in period, and then figure out how to replicate them appropriately in the here and now, and then share that knowledge with us. And lucky for us, she shares her end results also, as you can see, on their majesties and on Lady Tatiana, and also on this dress that I am wearing. Over the years that I have known Tatiana, I have found her to be someone who has a true heart of gold. She is kind, considerate, and only sees the best in people. She is straightforward, plain-spoken, sensible, and honest. Traits that are sometimes in short supply nowadays. She tries her very best to help others when asked, and when she sees a need, she tries to fill it. Her generosity of spirit is something to behold. Our society would not be as multifaceted if she were not here. I am delighted to see Mistress Tatiana recognized with our highest honor for her talents and her knowledge within the medieval arts, for her generosity of spirit with her teaching and her willingness to create a better society with her efforts. But most of all, I'm delighted to call Tatiana my friend. With warmest regards, Viscountess Therica.
Armand, bend in the order of the chivalry. Can you attest to her honors?
I can. There are many knightly virtues: nobility, faith, generosity, mercy, justice, courage, and prowess. Under prowess, I don't know if many people know, but she is a warranted marshal of Northshire. She has been on the field, combat archery, siege. She takes and defends her kingdom and her king. What I really kind of want to talk about is her courage. Courage often means choosing the more difficult path. She has done this many times and in many ways. But some of the things I'd like to point out is trying something new and failing. Most people fail and have a hard time with it. She sees it as part of the path and learning experience. When she fails, it only drives her more to learn how it's done and to do it correctly. Courage is after seeing something is wrong and doing your part to help make it right. Tatiana goes out of her way to make sure her research, her dress is done the way that she wants to see it done, in the best possible way. Courage is defending your campfire turkey from a band of raging neighbors, intent on making off with your meal. You have to ask her about this one, but this is now Pennsic legend. Courage is continuing on your path, even when others don't see the path that you're on. I have known her for many, many years. She is a friend. She is family. She is my peer. Your Majesties, thank you for allowing me to do this.
Mr. Carteret, you kindly did the Order of the Pelican, and you attest to Tatiana's service.
I am Mistress Catherine of the Amber Mists, and I have come this way to attest to Mistress Tatiana's service as it occurs for this position. Like many of the others already spoken, I have known Mistress Tatiana for many years. I have watched her skill grow through all kinds of arts and service. She is an accomplished seamstress, as your Majesties know. She is an accomplished glass artist, working in stained glass and lampwork beads. She works metal. She works leather. I'm kind of hard-pressed to find something she doesn't work, but one of the ones that she has truly taken passion to is the stamping, as is obvious on her beautiful garments that she is wearing, including that veil today. No? Anyway, this lady is absolutely a peer, already a pelican, and now a laurel. Absolutely, your majesties. I recommend her with my whole heart.
We can't write that anymore because everyone confused it pretty quick. Master Joseph, companion of the Order of Defense, can you attest to Tatiana's courtly grace?
I can, your majesties. Oftentimes, when speaking of artists and the portraits and pictures that they produce, we often say that a picture can be worth 1,000 words. However, the artist themselves is never taken into consideration when reporting on their paintings. 1,000 words for a picture, 1,000,000 for the artist herself. For how do you put into words the sleepless nights spent over the desk, lit by a solitary light, slaving away over your art, your craft? How do you put into the words the highest of successes, the most gut-wrenching of failures? How do you put into words the effort, the tenacity, the raw spirit it requires to keep going forward, ever pressing onward? The only way that I can think to put it into words is to say, Tatiana, you are my peer.
Duchess Guinevere, you carry words from Viscountess Morgan to attest to Tatiana's nobility.
I do, Your Majesty.
Unto your Majesties Lars and Mary, and your most august heirs Ingvar and Isabella, do I, Viscountess Morgan of Avical, and companion of the Laurel for printed textiles, send humble greetings. I write this day to speak of Baroness Tatiana with joy in my heart, and wish to add my words of support and encouragement as she begins her new journey in our society. If the wealth of a kingdom is measured by the passion and joy of its populace, then Northshield is a rich kingdom, and Baroness Tatiana is a treasure indeed. As a royal peer of the society, it is Baroness Tatiana's nobility that I wish to address. Service and courtesy are the cornerstones of what we do, and the arts and sciences thread their way throughout our society lives, touching nearly everything at an event, practice, or war. Baroness Tatiana's contributions to your kingdom are amply demonstrated through her teaching, service, travel, and her gracious and knowledgeable presence online. She's a strong, bright, grounding thread in the rich tapestry that is Northshield, and her nobility is there for all to see. Throughout all her dealings with the rest of the known world, she holds Northshield close to her heart. She truly loves her kingdom and the people in it. She shines with joy as she teaches and shares her knowledge. That infectious joy is the kind of passionate excellence that exemplifies peers of all flavors. Her printed textiles peers throughout the society have written in support of her elevation and recognition as one of the best textile printers in the known world. As we in the printed textile community celebrate, know that this elevation is a fabulous thing for Northshield, and the arts and sciences community of the known world is so much richer for her recognition. In service to the society, Viscountess Morgan, companion of the Order of the Laurel.
Count Thorbrander, companion of the Order of Laurel, can you attest to Tatiana's talents?
Yes, indeed, Your Majesty. Good nobles, I became aware of Mistress Tatiana's printed textiles when Thora and I moved to Northshield. We didn't have a lot of introduction. I just noticed that she had some really finely executed work and some stamps to go with it. This piqued my curiosity. I was there, maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, when the early debates over printed textiles were occurring within the Order of the Laurel. I reviewed all of the documentation that Countess Bridget of Mercia put together on the subject. When I saw Tatiana's work my curiosity was piqued. There are a lot of people who do something because they saw something like it and they've imitated it. Okay. Back then, the knowledge was basically fingerprints and potato stamping. And then finally, with Bridget's elevation, people really recognized printed textiles as a fine, high art that is indeed period. I was curious to know how much Tatiana understood of that. So I asked her some basic questions. I don't think she was aware of how involved I had been in the elevation of Countess Bridget and her documentation and review of her materials. I learned two things from asking her those questions. One, she technically understood it. She understood the documentation. She understood this level of knowledge appropriate for a master or mistress of the art. The other thing I learned from that is that she could deal with a fighter's basic questions with grace and courtesy. I have since those early times and discussions with her, watched her go out to the known world and teach. I've had some discussions with some of her peers. She definitely gets out there. And indeed, as we heard just previously, there have been letters of recommendation, okay, including Countess Bridget of Mercia, who holds her in very high esteem, and Mistress Aveline of the Midrealm. It is very clear from the comments and recommendations made about her, and what I've seen, that she is arguably one of the best technical printed fabric knowledges and artists in the known world. We have a true gem here in North Shield. I think it's incumbent on North Shield to recognize this. Thank you.
Well said. Beatrice, as a member of the populace, can you speak to Tatiana's qualities as a peer?
I will, Your Majesties. I am Lady Beatrice of Carriage Mar, and unlike several who have spoken so far, I've known Tatiana for not quite 3 years. And in that time, I want to talk about something that I have learned in that time. You've heard about her prowess and her technical capabilities. You've heard about her nobility and her courage. What we haven't heard about is the steadfast encouragement that she gives to everyone around her, regardless of what they are involved in. Tatiana took me to my first A&S. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have made it there. I had a project, I was excited about it, I was terrified about it, and you know, we think about cheerleaders as being very like, rah, rah, like excitable. And that's not our Tatiana, but our Tatiana is steadfast and loving and encouraging and just, she makes you feel like you have something worth sharing. And she makes you feel like your voice is important and your activity is important. We see that when she teaches and how she takes the time to infuse her joy into the students in her class. We see that in our barony when she takes the time to open her home to anyone who has sewing concerns. That's still me. Tatiana, I don't know how to make this, please help. And with her steadfast encouragement, I've made some things that I can actually wear, and I'm excited to wear as opposed to before. But I cannot commend enough the recognition of her encouragement and her just love for the people around her. Tatiana, thank you for making my experience in the SCA so far memorable and warm and welcoming. and I commend her heartily to your majesties.
Tatiana, right mindful of your skills in researching society and the wishes of your peers, we are resolved to create you a mistress of the world. Know that to be a peer is to hold a sacred trust, that the obligations will demand your efforts every moment of your life. As this is the second peerage for you and for our court, we are not reading the full admonishments again.
Do not restrict your exploration to a small world, but seek to infuse every aspect of your life with these qualities. Should you succeed in even a tiny measure, then you will be well remembered for your quality and virtue. Knowing all this, do you desire to accept elevation to this order?
Will you pledge to continue to uphold the honor of the crown?
Will you increase your labors and talents nobly, as befits one of your rank, and seek to extend your talents and abilities throughout the society?
Will you teach and assist any dependents you may have to serve as you have served?
Do you wish to swear fealty or pledge service at this time?
Your scroll.
Sorry.
Here are words.
By these words, all shall know the wise will of the Crown of Northshield, Lars and Mary. Tatiana Marana Melville has loyally, faithfully, and widely served this kingdom and society with her painted and printed textiles. We recognize her prowess with induction into the Order of the Laurel by these letters patent. Tatiana may bear the arms of the laurel leaves. Scroll by Joya.
Oh, the sword. We have both. We have options.
I here swear fealty to the crown of Northshield, to ever enrich the crown, to be faithful and true, to love all they love and shun all that they shun, to remember courtesy and kindness, to prize justice above personal gain, to keep secret any counsel they entrust to me, nor knowingly disclose it to their harm, to guide all who seek my talents and abilities, to diligently serve where needed, and to light the way for all your people. Hereby my honor and my heart swear
We accept the gifts of your talents and knowledge.
And will rely on you to advise us wisely.
As you light the way of Northshield, with honor and charity, we will act towards you, respectively in all things, protecting you with our aid and rewarding you with our love. May all strength fail, and the world turn against any who break this solemn oath.
Is there a medallion? Yes. Legacy. This medallion, Master Bartolo assures me is not a forgery. It's been worn by Danner, Giovanna, Kinnick, Inu, Evans, Ethne, Barissa, Myrid, Ingus, Aliana, Simon, Evan, Kono, Edwin, Marguerite, Nicolo, Jolina, Orla, Petronella, Bay, Bartel, Guinevere, Guttorm, Iva, Sophonespa, Peter Joyner, Ugram, Eldred of Malmesbury, Roeder, Elizabeth von Kalmbach, Guinevere, Frederick, Crispin, Katerina, Corridon, Tiffin, Cristoforo, Sven, Anjanette, Thompson, Rodwin, Osney, Sania, Vladimir, Isabella, Tomas, Catriona, Katrina, sorry, Bruno, Lucia, Aya, Asa, Colleen, Berenice, Nell, Alessand, Asa, Carl.
Now take from our hands these symbols of our order. The laurel wreath, which has ever stood for excellence.
As we have acknowledged your excellence this day.
As we have acknowledged your excellence this day. Is there a cloak?
It's a magical medallion.
The cloak is a reminder of the responsibility of care.
To shelter and give aid to those who come to them.
To shelter and give aid to those who come to them.
In need or seeking knowledge.
In need or seeking knowledge.
The weight of the cloak remind you of this duty.
Let the weight of the cloak remind you of this duty. Rise, Mr. Santayana, companion of the Order of the Laurel.
Vivat!
Laurels, please remove your newest companions. Okay, anybody else? Work's done. Whenever the crowd clears, we would ask our peer advisors to come forward to help us dismiss our guard. Tom is stuck in the back. There's traffic. Tom is stuck in traffic, Laurel traffic. No, you're not going to say cut your face, Rick. How many Laurels did you take out? Right here. Okay, just two. Let's give them a moment to speak. As you know, we had quite a large guard this year, and we had no specific captains, but we did ask to have two peer advisors. So Tomas was specializing in those who are pursuing the rapier elevation, and Tom was specializing in advising those who are seeking it. Have any words of closing sentiments?
Good.
I'm Tomas. Several of the guards people, at least on the rapier side, I'm sure on the heavy side as well, were not hand selected by me, but I had a voice in advising the Crown as given names to them. Then I asked some of my brothers and sisters of defense if they might have any other people that I might recommend. And so based off of that, I recommended several names to their majesties. And they all performed above and beyond what I expected any one of them to do, taking on tasks that were outside of the realm of rapier, whether it's service. I know that one of our gentles does equestrian quite a bit, so he took on the task of equestrian at Dub Dub. From marshaling on the field to being general at war, several of them went above and beyond, and I'm very proud of all of them.
Hi, I'm Tom. It's like Tomas, but the English version. To echo my illustrious mod friend here's statement, we did have some statement or input into helping select the guard that Their Majesties allowed us their input into. Great. Couldn't be more happy with the guard. They all performed very, very well. They showed up to a great number of events, and there were quite a few of them. They helped with a ton of things, moving thrones, helping set up and tear down, just being very helpful, and that's just great. And then they also inevitably were helping with the sites as well. So it was really great to see that. It was really great to be able to do the diamond tournament with both groups getting out there to help participate. That was fantastic. Couldn't be more proud. They did a great job. So thank you, Your Majesties. Appreciate it being able to help on that.
And thank you for indulging us in guiding these people towards their martial peerage pursuit. And as this is one guard, we try not to separate. That's why we did the diamond tournaments. And the service you noted was part of the point, that most of the people that we selected will be future sleeve holders, future champions, future crowns, future consorts, and they need to see what it is to serve the whole kingdom and not just play on their field, which play is super important. But the whole society is one society. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to have these people widen their wings. So we just call them in.
Their Majesties, call forth the guard.
Okay. Yes, and anyone back here too?
We won't have need of you much longer.
Yes. Okay, everybody in? There's so many people. Thank you for your service. I could probably speak for another hour with individual thank yous and wishes and remembrances, but please keep up the good work. We put what we could in small card format. And these are
Speaking for hours.
and these are journals to help you guide the way. You are dismissed.
There are not enough journals that are more
There's more.
staged. We just need to put them together, so I'm going to get you.
There's one left.
For the Royal Guard, Vivat!
As our guard is released, we would like to share some of our thought process. So we asked for a guard, even though there's no war, there's no risk to us. We live in a peaceful society, although for the past 6 months we have played the part of monarchs at war. We had unsheathed swords. We went to multiple different wars. Yeah, unsheathed seals also. But we get to play war, and there are those amongst us who have been to actual war. And we would like to recognize that the reason that we get to play this game in this great country and the country to the north is because there are those willing to do what it takes to make sure that we are safe. And so we would like to recognize any who have served given their country military service. We're trying to make sure we included Canada and any other country. So if you have given your country military service, please come forward for recognition. Okay. And can we have a brief moment of silence for those brothers and sisters who are not amongst us, some of whom even came from disparity? Thank you.
For all of those who have served or serve today, Viva!
So some final words. You all have been hearing from me for the better part of a year at this point, so I will be as brief as possible. First, I want to just thank everyone here, everyone in this kingdom. It's only through your belief that we are allowed to serve in this way, and it is a privilege. Further, I would like to thank Baroness Juliet for her service as entertainer and for everyone who took time out of their day to keep us company, to help us entertain, and to be there by our side. Thank you very much. I would like to thank my household for continuous support throughout this reign, logistics and companionship and advice and counsel. Thank you so much. I would like to thank my guard. They did a tremendous job. I would like to thank the peer advisors to the guard, who also did a fantastic job. I would like to thank every seamstress who helped. Every stitch you made helped us fulfill this job and look wonderful and represent North Shield on the field. I would like to thank everyone who helped make the Tabard project. It was a tremendous undertaking. We will have more. Everything we had was given out at Penton, but we have more materials to make more. We will be housing them, and I will make accommodations through the website or reach out to me, and we will get people. I want to be clear, they are not for fighting community only. They are for anyone who wants to be allowed and guided about North Shield is welcome to a tavern. Last and certainly not least, sorry. I would like to thank my wife. I am only a good king because she is an outstanding queen.
When we wrote this up, he got the thank yous, but we have one last, here's what we'll miss.
Here's what we're going to miss.
We will miss representing this great kingdom as crown to show the known world how stellar we are.
We will miss the strength of the throne to make our kingdom even more inclusive and equitable.
We will miss greeting newcomers and making sure they know they are welcome.
We will miss recognizing people with their very first award, to see the light in their face when they realize they are seen and accepted and important to our kingdom.
We will miss recognizing peers who have each traveled a path unique and different to arrive at a level of achievement that does not signify an end of their journey, but signifies they are now part of the bones and body of our kingdom.
We will miss holding the whole of the kingdom as our focus.
We will miss the ability to make the magic happen, if it is a right and proper thing.
We will miss calling Isabella and Ingvar our kids.
We will miss coordinating our team, working with event staff, creating opportunities for our guard. We will even miss Stellari meetings.
We will miss the reserved parking spots, the greatest view of everything, sampling of the arts, and every little kindness, surprise, help, and opportunity that we were gifted over the past year.
We will miss creating Here's What You Missed.
And we know that we can make the magic happen at every level and have no intention of stopping.
And we have met so many people, gone so many places, made so many new friends, and that is the true gift of the crown.
We are happy to have time again for our personal pursuits and family, but are glad for the invitations to so many new areas of passion, and will ever hold all of North Shield in our heart.
Our service to the kingdom as crown is complete for this rank. Our time is up. We are pleased to pass the crown to the daughter of our tournament. Please call for Alderman.
Their Majesties summon Isabella Beatrice de la Rosa, heir to the throne of North Shield.
Ordenatus exponentis, ante mundi exorium, loretucum nominatus, ipse fams et clausula, omnium qui sunt fuerum, quecibus futura sunt, seculorum seculis. O beatus mortus ille, virgo cupere terra, ille nostrum salutem, et a sanctus spiritu, et curem redemptor orbis, o sacra protudit, seculorum seculis.
Your Majesties, you've summoned me.
I think we're ready to pass the Majesty title on to you, the daughter of our tournament. Is there someone you find worthy?
There is. Ingvar Eadhepni has won this right to reign. It is right and proper he should be king of North Shield.
Ipse jusite priata, dixit ipsi flaxus, terra caelum falsum ponti, trina rerum machina, vegenis vegens sumata, solus exaunae globo, seculorum seculis.
Do you declare that you are the rightful heirs to the crown of North Shield?
Aye.
Does the kingdom seneschal bear witness to Isabella and Ingvar as victors and rightful heirs to the crown of North Shield?
As Seneschal of North Shield, I bear witness to their right to the crown of North Shield.
Does the Earl Marshal bear witness?
As the Earl Marshal of North Shield, I bear witness to their right to the crown of North Shield.
Is there a combatant in the last crown tourney to bear witness?
I do. I, Baron Ulrich, a combatant in the crown tournament held at the Shire of Darkstone, hereby bear witness to their right by victory and inspiration as heirs to the crown of North Shield.
Do the peers of North Shield bear witness?
Aye.
Shall all North Shield bear witness?
Aye.
Know
Know now what it means to bear the crown. The king and queen must remain loyal to their people,
Who depend upon them to defend the kingdom.
who depend upon them to defend the kingdom.
They must be bold of heart,
They must be bold of heart,
for they are the point of the sword that all follow in battle.
for they are the point of the sword that all follow in battle.
They must seek the path of justice,
They must seek the path of justice,
without bias or personal interest,
without bias or personal interest,
and their judgments must be tempered by humanity and mercy.
and their justice must be tempered by humanity and mercy.
They must strive for excellence in all endeavors,
They must strive for excellence in all endeavors,
not for their own good, but for the good of the kingdom.
not for their own good, but for the good of the kingdom.
as the embodiment of all that is North Shield.
as the embodiment of all that is North Shield.
Their service will inspire others to greater service.
Their service will inspire others to greater service.
They shall inspire love and respect
They shall inspire love and respect
in the realm, and their deeds will be remembered
in the realm, and their deeds will be remembered
long after they have passed from these lands.
long after they have passed from these lands.
Understanding all this, do you still desire the crown of North Shield?
Understanding all this, do you still desire the crown of North Shield?
Aye.
Little thing now.
Good stretch.
Then swear this oath.
I swear to keep and confirm to the people of North Shield
The laws, customs, and traditions of the realm.
the laws, customs, and traditions of North Shield. The realm.
To defend, strengthen, and maintain them to the best of my ability.
To defend, strengthen, and maintain them to the best of my ability.
To seek the wise counsel of our peers.
To
seek the
wise counsel of our peers,
Baronage and people.
baronage, and people.
I shall do and keep in all my domains and judgments.
I shall do and keep all things.
In my domain and judgment.
What he said.
True and right in mercy and truth.
True and right in mercy and truth.
To be vigilant as I guide our people.
To be vigilant as I guide our people.
To be diligent as in my service to all.
To be diligent in my service to all.
And to light the way from the stellar thrones.
And to light the way from our stellar thrones. And may all strength fail me, and the world turn against me, if I should break this solemn oath. Thus swear I,
Ingvar in heaven.
Isabella Beatrice de la Rosa.
People of North Shield, behold your queen and king.
People of North Shield, behold your king and queen, queen and king.
Isabella and Ingvar, Queen and King of North Shield.
Please, take your ease.
I believe you are correct.
Their Majesties call forth the Order of the Chivalry.
Ever be a good knight and true, reverent and generous, shield of the weak, obedient to my liege lord and lady, foremost in battle, courteous at all times, champion of the right and the good. Thus swear I.
We accept your gifts of fealty and homage, and will rely on you to advise us wisely, as you light the way for North Shield, with honor and charity.
We will act towards you.
We'll act towards you respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid, and rewarding you with our love. But may all your strength fail you, and the world turn against you if you should break the solemn oath.
For the Knights of North Shield, Vivat! Their Majesties now invite before them any companions of the Order of the Laurel wishing to swear fealty or pledge service at this time.
I here swear fealty and to homage to the crown of North. I give my talents, knowledge, and wisdom for your use and the kingdom's benefit. I will strive to teach and give good guidance to all who seek me out, and to light the way for the people of North Shield with honor and charity. Here by my honor and my heart swear I,
We accept the gifts of your talents and knowledge, and will rely on you to advise us wisely as you light the way for North Shield with honor and charity. We will act towards you respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid and rewarding you with our love. But may all your strength fail, and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
For the laurels of North Shield, Viva!
Your Majesty! Your Majesty! May I have a moment?
Yes. You may.
There is one missing from this group, and I wish to rectify that.
Oh, you're right.
If you will.
If it is a...
Right and the proper thing. Please, proceed.
Your Majesty, I beg a boon that you elevate John Gunnarsson to the Order of the Laurel. My apprentice, you have walked well.
We do.
We do not have to summon the order, it is here.
It is here. Noble order, is it your judgment
That John is worthy of this accolade?
that Jan is worthy of this accolade?
Aye.
Having heard the counsel of your peers,
We are minded to recognize
we are minded to recognize you
as a companion of the order of the law.
as a companion of the Order of the Laurel. Is it your wish to be numbered among them? Jan, stand your vigil. And in a time and place of your choosing or ours, present yourself to us
For elevation to this most noble order.
for elevation to this most noble order.
Good masters and mistresses,
Good masters and mistresses,
please take the candidate from this court and provide their counsel.
please take this candidate from our court and please advise him with your wise counsel.
For Jan's vigilant for the order of the laurel, Viva! Viva!
Let's go there. Get back here.
If you're a pelican, you can stay up.
Silly bird time. Which weapon would you prefer?
What's your...
Yes.
service at this time.
I here swear fealty and true homage to the crown of North Shield. I give my service and wisdom to you for the prosperity of the kingdom. I will strive to diligently serve wherever needed, and to act with honor and charity in ways which will guide by my example the people of North Shield. Here on my honor and my heart swear I,
We accept your offer of service and leadership, and will rely on you to advise us wisely as you serve and guide North Shield with honor and charity. We will act towards you respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid and rewarding you with our love. But may all your strength fail and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
For the Pelicans of North Shield, live on!
I believe we are a member short as well.
18. Yes, I can take. Your Majesties, I beg a boon. If it be a right and proper thing, speak and it shall be yours.
I would be greatly pleased for your majesties to please put Matthias of Rolling Oak, known to one and all as Moose, on vigil for the Order of the Pelican.
Is he serving?
They're on the way.
You mean I gotta have to repeatedly
I got one.
Excuse me, good gentles. While we have a lull, if you have not checked in.
I'm the king, like feathers in the griffin's wing, along the road run there what may, over the hill, far away.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it the first time. Would you please repeat yourself?
Your Majesties, would you please place Matthias of Rolling Oak, known to one and all as Moose, on vigil for the Order of the Pelican?
Were you helping people again?
No, I was actually doing straw bus stepped up conversation.
Service, got you, okay.
Noble order, is it your judgment that Moose is worthy of this accolade?
Having heard the counsel of your peers, we are minded to recognize you as a companion of the Order of the Pelican. Is it your wish to be numbered among them?
Yes.
Stand your vigil. And in a time and place of your choosing, present yourself for elevation to this most noble order.
Good masters and mistresses,
Good masters and mistresses,
please take the candidate from this court and provide your counsel.
please take this candidate from our court and provide him with your gracious counsel.
For Matthias, vigilant for the Order of the Pelican, live on!
order it down the hall, Pelicans. Unless you're a royal peer.
I'm just going to slide over here. Got a few more words to say.
Their Majesties now invite before them any companions of the Order of Defense who wish to swear fealty or blood service at this time.
There are. Yeah, no, you are all surprised. We're not.
I here swear fealty and homage to the crown of North Shield, to ever serve the kingdom by word and sword, defender of the weak, proven in battle, tender by mercy, generous with my knowledge and ability, an example of courtesy, skill, and grace, guiding the people of North Shield with integrity and charity. Here by my honor and my sword swear I, John Townsend.
We accept your gifts of service and leadership, and will rely on you to advise us wisely, as you light the way for North Shield, with honor and charity. We will act towards you, respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid, and rewarding you with our love. But may all strength fail and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
The Masters of Defense of North Shield, Viva! Viva! Their Majesties invite before them any royal peers wishing to swear fealty or pledge service at this time.
Welcome, so glad you're here. Welcome.
I here swear fealty and homage to the crown of North Shield. As I have served in the past, I will diligently serve this crown and kingdom, and guide by my example, as if it is one of my station. I will guard and nurture the spirit of North Shield, and illuminate the aims and ideals of the realm. Here by my honor and my heart swear I,
We accept your wisdom and leadership, and will rely on you to advise us wisely, as you have already served, with diligence and grace. We will act towards you, respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid, and rewarding you with our love. But may all strength fail and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
For the royal peers of North Shield, Viva! The Royal Majesties call forth those territorial barons and baronesses who wish to swear fealty or pledge service at this time. I don't know.
Oh, are you willing to become our vassal?
I acknowledge to the crown of North Shield.
I acknowledge to the crown of North Shield.
The fealty and homage for the bearer of
Fealty and homage
which my ancestors held from you.
my ancestors held from you
And your predecessors.
and your predecessors. As a youth,
I swear that I will always be faithful to you.
I swear that I will always be faithful to you,
Defending you and giving you power.
defending you and giving you power
Over all castles and manors.
over all castles and matters,
In peace and in war.
in peace and in war.
I will strive to be vigilant.
I will strive to be vigilant
As I guide your people.
as I guide your people,
To be diligent in my service to all.
to be diligent in my service to all,
And to light the way for my parochial seat.
and to light the way of my throne seat.
Here, by my honor and my heart, I swear I.
Here by my honor and my heart swear I,
We acknowledge the fealty and homage
For the castles, manors, and places.
for the castles, manors, and places
Which your ancestors held from us and our predecessors.
which your ancestors held for us and your predecessors. As a fief,
You are faithful vassals.
you are faithful vassals,
Holding our lands in good faith.
holding our lands in good faith and without deceit.
We will act towards you respectfully in all things.
We will act towards you respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid and rewarding you with our love. But may all strength fail and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
For the territorial barons and baronesses of North Shield, vivat! Vivat! Their Majesties now invite before them any great officers of state who wish to swear fealty or pledge service at this time.
I here swear fealty and due homage
I do swear fealty and do homage
to the crown of North Shield.
to the crown of North Shield,
To well and loyally exercise my office.
to well and loyally exercise my office.
I will diligently serve this crown kingdom.
I will diligently serve this crown and kingdom,
Uphold its laws and customs.
uphold its laws and customs,
Guide by my example
guide by my example
all the people of North Shield.
all people of North Shield,
And in all things,
and in all things,
comport myself with the dignity befitting one who holds my office.
work myself with the dignity of fitting one's my office.
Here by my honor and my heart, swear I.
Here by my honor and my heart swear I.
We accept your service.
We accept your service and leadership
And will rely on you to advise us wisely.
and will rely on you to advise us wisely.
As you hold your offices in good faith.
As you hold your offices in good faith,
We will act towards you.
we will act towards you
Respectfully in all things.
respectfully in all things,
Protecting you with our aid.
protecting you with our aid
And rewarding you with our love.
and rewarding you with our love. But may all strength fail and the world turn against any who break the solemn oath.
For the great officers of the Solari Council, vivat! Their Majesties invite the populace to join for swearing fealty or pledging service at this time. It is the tradition in North Shield to respect the beliefs of all of North Shield's subjects. As such, we recognize that some are not able, for reasons of conscience, to swear oaths. It is therefore permitted to substitute instead of pledge of service in the fealty and homage. For simplicity's sake, what I recite for response now will be the oath, but feel free to substitute the appropriate words.
I owe solemn
Tell our
I here swear fealty and homage to the crown of North Shield. I will faithfully guide and listen to my aid, loyally serve the Griffin realm, and by my honor and actions is like a ray. Thus, swear I.
We accept your promises to us and to the kingdom of Norcia.
We will act toward you.
We will act towards you respectfully in all things, protecting you with our aid, and rewarding you with our love. But may all your strength fail, and the world turn against any who break this solemn oath.
For the people of North Shield, come on! There being no further business, we will suspend the court of North Shield until this evening at 5 p.m.
4:30.
4:30.
4:30.